Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live this morning. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of September. Thank you very much for joining me live this morning. Yesterday I had some fun, as I did on Monday, with our paper pumpkin kit. Let me just bring that in. Just show you those cards in case you didn't see them, and then if you like the cards that you see, you can hop over and watch the replay on Facebook here or on YouTube. So these were the cards that I made Monday and Tuesday. So we have this one here with the thanks in the vellum. We have this one with the vellum, flower and foliage, and this one here with the die cuts. And then the variations that I did yesterday were this one, and thanks for everything, and then this little one here, again with a few bits of the die cuts. So today I thought I would do something different and also be thinking about our coffee and card designs. So I've chosen a stamp set which I haven't yet used. It's called Art in Bloom, as you can see, and it's a floral stamp set that has these really lovely line images. Now if you know me, you know that I like these line images, and it has stamps to infill. So if you're not keen on colouring in, morning Catherine, if you're not keen on colouring in, then this is a good stamp set, because you can either leave the line drawings open, you can infill with these, you could stamp onto patterned paper or coloured card. So there's lots of different variations of that. It has some nice sentiments. Now the actual flowers are bigger than you see on the front cover, because it's got effectively two lots of stamps in one. So the actual size here, it's got to be, let's have a look, 3-4 inches. So 9 centimetres by about 8 centimetres for the main image there. So we have these flowers, we have the infills, we have two lots of leaves, a set of two and an individual one, and then this nice dot here and the stripes. These are individual stamps. These little details here. Morning Julia. And then we have 4 sentiments. Thanks for making me happy. You're a rare find, dear friend, and never not loving you. Set of 15 stamps. They're £24 for the complete set. You're effectively getting almost 2 stamp sets there together. And there are matching dies that cut out these components, and there is also an embossing folder that will allow you to cut the dies and emboss at the same time. I've just purchased the stamp set to start with, but the dies, there's a single die that cuts out these 3 flowers, but it cuts them into 3, so it makes it really quick for stamping and die cutting. For my card today, I'm just going to take a straightforward stamped image and do a technique that I've done many years. Oops, let's just come out of that light. So Art in Bloom can be found in the annual catalogue on page 116. You can see the stamp set there in its own right, and then the bundle has the stamps and the dies and an embossing folder that will emboss these actually on your card. As I say, at the moment I've only got the stamp set. Okay, so let's get cracking. So a really good day for me today. It's my twins' birthday today. They're both away, actually together though, which is really nice, in Northern Ireland. They're actually at the Balmoral show where my daughter is showing. So I've got that recording on one of my other screens at the same time. So I'm hoping it all goes well for her. Morning, Jeanette. So it's nice that they're spending time together for their birthday. Grand old age of 24, bless them. And it's good. They just get on so well, as you would expect twins to, really. So let's get cracking with this. I do need a large block to pop that onto though. Okay, just about fits onto there. Oops. Now I haven't used the stamp set yet. Let's get it straight on there, shall we? But what I'm thinking is to use some small square cards, and I'm hoping this is going to fit on. Yeah, well, it goes over a little bit, but it will do the job. Morning, Kay. Right, so my thoughts are, I'm going to actually stamp it in Memento, and you know me, if I do anything, it's usually early espresso, but I have a very good reason for doing it in black today, and that's because I'm going to use a black pen to do some doodle lines around this image. So I'm hoping you can see that. Now I haven't done my usual of stamping all of these out, but I probably will do before our session tomorrow evening. There we go. So I'm just going to stamp it straight on. Normally I would stamp it off anyway, but let's give it a go. Thanks for joining us, Kay. Oh, I guess we need a bit more. I definitely need a bit more ink. I might need to stamp it off, but let's stamp it on here anyway. I want to get a feel for how it fits as much as anything. And I really should add a mat underneath there. So let's do that. See what that looks like. No, that's okay. I'm happy with that. While I'm here, I'm going to stamp another one. So just using Memento black ink. As I say, normally I would use early espresso, but for today's purposes I'm just going to do this. So I'm going to do this one at a slightly different angle. See how this goes. Okay, now I am going to add in some leaves to this. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to go for the single leaf or the double. I think the double will work. Grab this block here. And I haven't yet decided if I'm going to do colouring in or stamping. Maybe I'll do one coloured in with blends and one for stamping. This does make a really good watercolour set. So these look like they should actually go this way round. Just looking at this picture here, it's got the close bits together. So it's going to attach these like so. Now this reminds me of a similar stamp set we had that retired a few years ago, and I'm desperately trying to think what it was called. Some of you might remember. Oh, I am quiet, thank you. Let me know if this is better. Thank you, Tracy. Because I was recording on my machine something else, I was moving my microphone away from the ticking clock, and in fact I have taken the clock away altogether for today. So let me know if that's a better volume for the audio. Thank you. Oh dear. Anyway, hi Tracy, and hi to you, Dee. So let's just add some of these in. So these are great for those of us that can't really draw for toffee, and that is me for sure. So just popping these in so that they are attached. Like so. Now I haven't really left any room for a sentiment, and I could have left a little bit of room, but never mind. We can either leave them or add a sentiment on a strip after. So those are my two designs. Let me move that out of your light. I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee. Just excuse me 1 minute. There we go. Right, so I have got some assorted black permanent fade proof pigment ink pens. This is a calligraphy pen, and I buy them in with different widths. So 0.1, 0.3, 2 mil. So my plan is to doodle along the edges and connect these up. So what I'm going to do is this, like so. And then when it gets to the flat end, I break it like so. And I'm deliberately making it jagged because I don't want it I don't want it to look straight. I don't think there's any chance of that anyway, but I'm deliberately wiggling it. Now some people sort of do a double line. I'm not very good at doing that, so I tend to stick with a single line like so. There we go. So it looks quite different. It's framed it, obviously. Hi Louise, thank you for your kind comments yesterday. We're all really feeling the loss of Lucy, our friend. So just moving that around there. So I'm going to do the same on this one. So it does make it look quite different. And I'm desperately trying to think of the name of the set that we had. I probably even got one of the cards from this set, I'm sure. Good morning, Janice. There we go. So just connecting those up like that. So it makes it look quite different. It's almost like you've got a layer behind it. And that's just with a pen. I tend to use the they're called a uni pin actually, but oh yes, uni ball. It's made by. And I do think you can actually get these in a brown sepia colour. So that's what I need to hunt for so that I can do that with my early espresso. So I'm going to do one of these with stamped inners and one that I'm going to hand colour. So this is the leaves, and then these are the 3 images for the floral. So let's do the leaves first, and I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. Hi Annette, good evening to you from Australia. Thank you for joining us. So this is another one of those stamps that's got the shading in. It makes it so easy for you. It's not just a solid block. So as you can see here on this leaf. So let's just work our way round like so. That's 1. 2. And 3. There we go. Clean that off. I hope you've had a good day, Annette. And then we've got our 3 flowers. As I say, if you buy the dies, the die is a single die, but it cuts the 3 flowers separately. And you could easily fussy cut these, so I might do that for our session tomorrow. Now I've got some base layers of card here, so that I've cut. I've got Highland Heather, Melon Mambo, and that's actually Old Olive. So let's do one with what do we think? Highland Heather maybe. Might add one in a different colour. And that's the nice thing about having the different infills. Okay, let's have a look and see. So I say I've not used these ones. This is their first inking. So let's pop that one on there. That's the right one. So it's not an exact match. There we go. There's a little bit of white space around the end, which I like. And let's just clean that one off. I presume, Louise, you've got no water as well down your end of town. We've had a major water leak here in Brackley today, so there's a lot of places out of water or low water pressure. Some of the schools have closed because obviously it's not safe for them without any water. I think I'll do this one the same, or maybe I'll do gorgeous grape, or fresh freesia. Just give it a little hint of pink actually. I want to go too dark. Lovely. There we go. So I hope everybody is keeping well. There we go. Simple little card, and in fact this could go almost any way. And if you wanted to add more leaves in, you could do. Just watch where you've got this line coming across. Let me just pop these away. So I think just going to mount that straight onto there, and this will make a nice series of thank you cards or little note cards, wouldn't it? Just going to add that onto there. I've just seen a little die cut, so let's pop this on. So I'm just using my Seal Plus for that. I knew there was a little bit down there. That feels about right. I could pop those up on dimensionals if I wanted to, but I'm just going to keep this nice and straightforward. So that in its own right would make a really quick card. Okay, I'm going to come back and decide if I add a sentiment to that. And then for this one here, nice and straightforward, I'm just going to do some quick colouring in, I promise not to keep you too long. Have a quick bit of my coffee, excuse me. So who is planning to craft today? And it's bedtime for Annette soon. But who here in the UK or Europe is planning to craft today? So I've got dark and light granny apple green. I'm using my favourite bullet point here, bullet tip. Just adding a little bit along that centre line and in the middles. There we go. Doing it darker where it's joining the other leaves, other items. So this will be our stamp set for coffee and card this week, I've decided, because people can stamp the set of 3 and then go on and add leaves. They can colour it in if they prefer, or they can stamp the colour in, as we've done Christmas for a couple of weeks, and then men's the week before that. So it's just filling this in. So I'm using a circular motion going over that midline. I think Granny Apple Green is probably my most used blends pen, because I tend to be colouring in foliage more than anything. Actually, I could have used Granny Apple Green on there, couldn't I? There's my hiya, my UPS delivery. Spot on time. Thank you. Cheers. go. And the last bit. Hello, Scott. Oh gosh, a lot of people are crafting. So Catherine's crafting with a friend over Messenger this afternoon. Jeanette's card making. Tracy's getting Lisa's bunting finished. I want to know what colours she's chosen. Or is it a surprise? And hi to you, Scott. Thanks for watching today. There we go. So that's just coloured in those leaves this time round with Granny Apple Green. And I'm quite tempted to keep the colours the same so that you can see the difference between the two styles. So this is Highland Heather, dark and light. Oh, fantastic. Have a great day, Janice, won't you? She's heading out for the day to visit Mum. Brilliant. So this is a larger area of flower, so I'm doing the darker area, but instead of doing all of the dark areas, I'm just going to concentrate on one flower at a time so that it has a better chance to blend. And I've got a favour to ask you, Scott, so I'll message you after we've finished. Okay, so that's the dark Highland Heather, and then I'm coming in with the light Highland Heather, and again circular motion. You can leave some white space, just gives it a little bit more detail, I feel, if you do that, like so. Go. That. Now obviously I've put my flowers in slightly different positions for each of these cards, so it's not an exact match, but if you wanted to do a whole series of these for party invitations or thank you cards, then I would set it up on the Stamparatus. Excuse me, I'm going hoarse today. And then they'd always be in the same position. Not as easy to do with the leaves because you've got one stamp for these leaves and obviously lots of different positions. So if it was me doing multiples of these, then I would definitely stamp the flowers on the Stamparatus and then hop around quickly with the leaves. If you weren't bothered, oh, I think this has nearly run out, about the position, then obviously you could just stamp each one. Let's just see if there's got any more ink on this side. Not much. Okay, I'm actually going to give them both a bit of a yellow centre. So I'm just going to add that. And this would be perfect for Wink of Stella, of course. And I'm going to add it into here. So don't be frightened of mixing stamped images and blending pens. Okay, as long as you don't go completely mad, the two will work nicely together. So there's that one. So I've got my centres done. Just going to see if I've got a new Highland Heather pen. Let me have a look, see. Purple Posy. No. So I need to add that to my list. with a purple posy will do. Right, so I'm going to keep this one. Well, doesn't really matter, does it? Let's do this one in the same, and then this one in fresh freesia, because I know I've got more. I'm pretty sure I've got more ink for that one. Hello, Jane. Thanks for catching up with us this morning. Hope you're keeping well. So just a bit of scribbling in here where that detail is, and then a bit more detail where any of the petals are sort of overlapping each other, like so. It's very, what's the word? It's a very easy area to fill in. Yeah, you can see this is nearly run out. Just going to try what I can on here. Because there's lots of lines in there, it's sort of got, you know, inbuilt colouring. So that's next on my order will be Highland Heather pens. I do try and keep my popular pens in stock. Actually, I might have a spare set. She says. I have got dark Highland Heather. This might be too dark. Yeah. Best laid plans. Okay. So you can tell when it gets lighter. You've got this squeaky sound, if you can hear that. But you don't get the coverage. So what I'm going to do is just do that, and then maybe go over with the purple posy. Oh gosh, it really does squeak, doesn't it? Right, you see, I've got a light purple posy here. Oh, that's light black blueberries. That was close, wasn't it? Here it is. So purple posy, it has quite a pink tone. There we go. I might have got away with it. So I'm just going over this to blend that pink in together, so it doesn't look quite as odd. There we go. There we are. Blending out that little blemish there. Okay, and then let's make this one fresh freesia. I've got light and dark. So don't be fooled by the tops, because they can look very, very similar. So always check the colour on the side of the barrel. Actually, yes, Jeanette. Oh, hi, Zana. It could look very Christmassy. You're quite right. And then this is light fresh freesia. I'm going to blend that out. So I'm not doing a huge amount of shading. I mean, obviously you can do, and if you're an expert colorist and shader, then you definitely would. But for the purposes of today, a simple stamped card and a slightly hoarse voice. There we go. Now the card that I've got out for this is Melon Mambo, so I might need to switch that definitely to Fresh Freesia or another Highland Heather. Because I think, oh, it doesn't actually look too bad. It's better than I thought. Okay, so one of the other things you can do, this stamp set has got these little flowers here. It's also got these fabulous designs here, so I'm going to use those in our next session. But just to add a little bit of detail, you can obviously add sequins, but I'm going to add our 3 dots. 1, 2, 3, like so. And actually, what I should have done probably was do that in the black, but hey ho. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How many I've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll do. Okay. Let's move these out of the way and mount this one up. So just a simple stamp design. Like so. One. Just decide which way around I want this. I know it's not the exact colour, but let's look at the green actually. It's for a different look. There we go, like that and that. So I could add a little sentiment. I could add a circle in the middle, but I think just see, I don't think any one of these will. I'm sure these won't fit. So what I should have done was put a sentiment on and then arranged my flowers accordingly. But so I'm not going to add that. And I think that's a bit too big for the inside. Let's see. Could put dear friend, but I think I'm actually going to leave those with no sentiment. Let's do, oh, I could add some sequins, of course, and I'm just wondering whether to do the black dots on there. See what you think. So just simple cards, seeing what I've got that would go with those. My rather extensive block bling. used these ones in here, which is the Fresh Regia ones. There we go. So 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to do 5 on this one. Why not? Like so. So there's that one there. And then, hello Carol. I think I'm going to leave that one as it is, just with these sets of 3 in there with my dots. And that's just done using my blends pen. So there we go. I will add some inners to these two, so I will might just do that really quickly. Grab another piece of white card if I can find it. It started here on my desk, I can assure you. There we go. So what I will do for the 2 inners, just to finish this off. So those are the 2 cards. This one is done with the stamp to fill in the detail. This one is done with the blends pen. So all I'm going to do is just stamp the corner of this here, like that. So I'm just going to grab the memento. Let's see if that will be the one I want. Yep, that will do. Like that. Thank you, Jeanette. Have a good day. So there's that one there, and I could carry on that what's the word? I'll think of it in a minute. The lines, the doodling lines, that's the word. Let's have a look at that. Go put that one in actually. So I can just take my pen and I can either doodle around the whole thing, or I can just draw a little bit of a line like so. Put a couple of dots in like so. Do the same with this one. And these will be the inners for each of these. So I will just grab Fresh Regia. I put them all together, didn't I? There we go, light and dark. And that is it, just colouring these in for the insides. There we go. So a nice simple card. As you know, I do like simple line drawings that aren't so precise that you feel you've got to be an absolute expert to colour them in. because I find that, you know, people get put off if it's so fine or a really big area to cover in terms of being able to colour it in. Okay, so this is the light, and then with the other one I'm just going to stamp the colour in. Like that one. You can see the difference, oops, between this one and the other pen I was using. It's not squeaky for starters. There we go. So this would make a nice thinking of you, get well, wedding acceptance, and as I think it was Jeanette who suggested, yeah, it could look Christmassy if you coloured it in red. So there's that one there. Is it hazy? Okay, let's add our Mango Melody centre. So that will be for one. And then let's just grab the infill stamp for this one. Not that one. It is that one. And we're done. So just going to use fresh freesia. As I say, there's an element of shading already done for you on the stamp. Like that. There we go. Add the yellow centre, pop the middles in, and we're all done. So this would definitely be an easy one to do a whole bunch of cards and then just sit down of an evening and colour them in. Let's pop this on the inside, make a lovely thank you card. I might convert these to thank you cards. I always have thank you cards to send. There we go. So that is the one with the infill stamp. This is the one with the blends. You could think of lots of different colourways for this. Yellows would obviously be nice, as you know, it's one of my, well, it's my favourite colour. Yellows and pinks. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. As I say, very simple cards for our session today. The stamp set is called Art in Bloom. As I say, it does have matching dies and a matching embossing folder that actually embosses the 3 flowers. So whatever point I purchase that, I will show you an updated version of these. So thank you so much everybody. I hope you enjoy your day, whatever you may have ahead of you, or your evening, for those of you joining from the South Pacific. So thank you for joining me. I'm off to unpack my UPS parcel and start cutting and preparing for our class at the weekend. So thanks for joining me. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Let me just lift those up so you can get a better look. I keep forgetting that you can't see what I can see. So there's that one there, and then this one with the bling on it. So very sweet, very straightforward. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, there I am.